Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking through some player props I like on Prizepicks for the NFL games on Sunday for the conference championships. So we have the NFC Conference Championship, Commanders and Eagles, and then we have the AFC Conference Championship, Bills and Chiefs. So these are our final two games before we kind of see who plays in the Super Bowl, which will be in 2 weeks from today. And I'm recording this video on Saturday night, so I do want to give you guys some plays that I do like from these two games on Sunday. Going to give out a prop I like from each game. So we'll talk about a prop that I like in the first game, Commanders, Eagles, and then we'll talk about a prop that I like in the next game after that, Chiefs and Bills. So we've got two plays to share in this video, guys. Before we do talk through these plays, as always, if you guys do enjoy these Prizepicks videos, if they help you out, make sure to hit that like button down below. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And if you are new to the channel and if you are new to Prizepicks, be sure to sign up for Prizepicks. Use that promo code NOAH when you sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code, and place your first lineup. You'll get $50 in promo funds instantly added to your account. So make sure to check out Prizepicks if you have not yet. And also, I do want to shout out Sleeper. We do have a partnership with Sleeper as well. If you guys want to sign up for Sleeper, you can do so using promo code NOAH. When you play $5, you'll get $55 worth of free lineups on Sleeper, again, when you sign up and use that code NOAH. So make sure to go check out Sleeper, guys. They're a DFS Pick'em app, very similar to Prizepicks, and it's a really easy user face, really simple, easy app to use. You'll figure out how to use it. It's very simple. You're just picking more or less on projections. You build out your lineup. You can make up to an 8-pick lineup on Sleeper. You can mix and match sports, and you can win up to 100x your money. And again, when you play your first lineup, you put in deposit, play $5, you'll get $55 worth of free lineups. So really cool way to try and build your bankroll up on Sleeper. Take advantage of those free lineups. Again, this is a new user offer that they are giving to everyone who signs up with code NOAH. But yeah, we got two plays to talk about for the conference championships, guys. Now, our picks from last week for the divisional round did not go very well. We had a really good wild card round. Divisional round was definitely a little bit more disappointing. Let's see if we can go 2-0 here, though, on our two picks for the conference championship games. And I do also want to say that if you are not on Prizepicks, they do have a free square available for this week for these games. Jaden Daniels' pass yards is set at 0.5. This is a free pick for everyone. So this is another incentive to sign up for Prizepicks right now. They have a free square available for this game. And again, it's available for new users, existing users. So make sure, again, guys, if you're not signed up for Prizepicks yet, use that code NOAH so you can also get access to this Jaden Daniels free square. But yeah, we got two picks to talk about for today, so let's go ahead and break them down. So first game, Eagles and Commanders. The prop that I'm liking in this game is going to be a fantasy score, and we're going to take Austin Ekeler for more than 9 fantasy score. So Austin Ekeler was pretty good last week in their playoff game against the Lions, had 12.8 fantasy points. That was definitely a surprising game script. That was a game that the Commanders actually played with a lead for the majority of the game, which really nobody saw coming. I mean, they were like double-digit underdog going into Detroit. They went out there and won by like 2 touchdowns. No one saw that coming. But Ekeler had a really good game last week. 12.8 fantasy points was pretty effective. In that game, he had 6 carries for 47 yards. Also had 4 catches for 41 yards. And then in their playoff game against Tampa Bay, had 8 carries for 27 yards, also had 3 catches for 26 yards. Ekeler is going to basically operate as like the RB2 in this offense. Brian Robinson is technically the starting running back for the Commanders, but Ekeler is still going to get plenty of opportunity. It's basically a 50-50 split when it comes to snaps between these two guys. And then sometimes, depending on game script, in games where the Commanders are playing with a lead, that typically means more snaps for Brian Robinson. In games where the Commanders are playing from behind, that typically means more snaps for Ekeler because Ekeler's a really good pass catcher. He's a guy that they like to use in passing situations, and when they're playing from behind, obviously that's just going to result in more pass plays. And this is a spot where the Commanders are going on the road into Philadelphia as 6-point underdogs. So I know it didn't happen last week. They were underdogs in that game and they went out and won by 14. The Commanders could come out here and win by 14 again. It's the NFL, anything can happen. But I think we have to expect this to be a game script where the Commanders are probably going to be playing from behind. And in those type of scenarios, that really benefits Austin Ekeler because, again, he is such a good pass catcher. And with Prizepicks fantasy score, it's a full PPR scoring system. So you get a point per reception. It's really favorable to get guys that can catch a lot of passes. And Ekeler's a guy that can catch 4, 5, 6 passes any game. And if we actually look at what he's done this season in games the Commanders have lost, he's been really good in those games. So they lost their Week 1 game against Tampa Bay. In that game, Eckler had 2 carries for 10 yards, 4 catches for 52 yards, 10.2 fantasy points. So he went over this line. They lost against Baltimore. He went over in that game, 10.8 fantasy points. And in that game, he had 9 carries for 21 yards, 4 catches for 47 yards. They lost against Pittsburgh. He was great in that game, 13 carries for 44 yards, had 2 touchdowns, also had 1 catch for 7 yards. Their game against Philadelphia, this exact same matchup, he was great in that game. That was a game that they lost. He had 2 carries for 7 yards, 8 catches for 89 yards. They did lose to Dallas, and Eckler wasn't as good in that game. 9 carries for 22 yards, 2 catches for 2 yards. But so far this season, in the 5 games that the Commanders have lost this season, Eckler's gone over this fantasy score line in 4 of those 5 games. So that just shows you that he typically gets more opportunity in games where the Commanders are losing, playing from behind. I think this will be a game script where the Commanders will probably be trailing, which should mean a lot of opportunity for Austin Eckler, especially in the passing game, which is where he's really valuable. Another prop that I do like on Eckler for this game is his over on 25.5 receiving yards or 26.5 receiving yards. I think that's something that you could also play. But I do like Fantasy Score the most, just because with Fantasy Score, you just have more outs. Obviously, with Fantasy Score, you get points for everything. So rush yards, you get points for those. Receptions, you get points for those. And again, those are super valuable because you get a point per reception. Nobody would be surprised if Eckler caught like 5 passes here. And obviously, that's huge because that's 5 points right there. You also get points for touchdowns. Eckler, he's only scored this season, he's only scored 4 touchdowns, but he's always a guy that could get into the end zone. Maybe if they opt to use him near the goal line. Typically, they like to use Brian Robinson near the goal line, but maybe they give Eckler a couple goal line carries. Either way, Eckler has a lot of ways he can go over 9 fantasy points, especially given Prizepicks' full PPR scoring system, given how they use Eckler in the passing game. And he was super effective in this same matchup against Philadelphia earlier this season, especially as a pass catcher. In that game, he had 9 targets, 8 catches for 89 yards. It was his best game of the season as a pass catcher. So nobody would be surprised if this is another game where Eckler catches a bunch of balls in a game script where the Commanders probably are going to be playing from behind. So I do like Eckler for more than 9 fantasy score. I also like him for more than 26.5 receiving yards. You could play that too, but I'm going to take fantasy score because I think that's my favorite prop on Eckler. Now the next prop I like in the other game, Chiefs and Bills, we're going to take a completion percentage prop. I haven't taken many of these. I think I've taken like one completion percentage prop like all season. But the one that I'm liking here is Patrick Mahomes for more than a 66.3% completion percentage. So completion percentage it's self-explanatory. If a guy throws 5 passes, he completes all 5 of those, that's 100% completion percentage. If he throws 10 passes, he completes 8 of those, it's 80%. Self-explanatory. So the reason that I like this completion percentage on Mahomes, for one, we know Mahomes has historically been a efficient passer. So I want to pull up his averages by season and actually look at like his completion percentage. So this season, Mahomes, just factoring in regular season, his completion percentage 67.5%. So it's a little bit higher than this number. Last season, 67.2, 67.1. 66.3, 66.3, 65.9, 66, 62.9. So he's basically been right around this completion percentage number for his career. This season, and actually the last 3 seasons, he's had a completion percentage over 67%. This is a matchup, though, that I think really favors Mahomes to get some easy completions. So the Bills are a team that play a lot of zone defense. They don't really give up a lot of big plays. If you actually look this season, the Bills are allowing the 5th fewest 20-plus yard completions, and they're allowing the 4th fewest 40-plus yard completions. So this Bills team does not really give up a lot of deep shots, a lot of big plays. They're going to let you kind of take the underneath stuff, and that's what the Chiefs want to do. They want to go to those short, quick routes, those underneath routes, especially like Travis Kelce. They love running stuff for Kelce in the middle of the field, and that's where the Bills have been most vulnerable because they run a lot of zone. They'll give up, easy completions over the middle of the field. The Chiefs also run a lot of, plays that can get you easy completions. They'll do like, pop passes from Mahomes where they'll have a guy in motion. He'll, pop it to either like Xavier Worthy or maybe Hollywood Brown. I know now that they do have Hollywood Brown, maybe they're willing to take some more deep shots, but this Bills team does not give up those deep shots. They're a team that's going to, make you kind of beat them over the middle of the field. So I do expect Mahomes to be able to kind of get some easy completions in this matchup. And for what it's worth, Mahomes has historically completed a lot of passes in the playoffs. Now, what can we really take from that? I don't know. But for what it's worth, 9 of his last 11 playoff games, he's gone over this completion percentage. And actually 11 of his last 14 playoff games, he's gone over the completion percentage. And that does include 3 games against the Bills. He's faced the Bills 3 times in the playoffs. In those games, he's had a 76.3% completion percentage, 75%, and 73.9%. So he's actually completed a lot of his passes, a high amount of his passes in his games versus the Bills in the playoffs. And if you actually look at his game log versus the Bills in the regular season, he's gone over this line in 2 out of 3 games versus, or 2 out of 5 games versus the Bills in the regular season. But if you look at the games where Mahomes went under, he had to throw 40 passes, 54 passes, and 43 passes. So it does feel like when Mahomes has to throw the ball like 45, 50 times, that's just going to lead to more incompletions. Like the more you throw it, the more incompletions you're probably going to get. But the Chiefs have shown a willingness to not be as pass heavy, and they're facing a Bills team that, the Bills are a run first team. They want to kind of run the ball, establish the run, kind of chew the clock up. Obviously, the Bills can get into shootouts, and Josh Allen can go out there and chuck the ball down the field if he has to. But I don't think that's how the Bills want to play. I think the Bills want to control the game, control the clock, and kind of try and keep the Chiefs' offense off the field. So I don't think this is going to be a game where Mahomes has to throw the ball a bunch. Now, he does have a pretty high pass attempts line. His pass attempts line is at 36.5. Honestly, I think he's got a good chance to go under this. He did go under this last week against Houston, only had 25 pass attempts. Obviously, that was a game where they didn't really have to throw a bunch. I don't know if this will be a game where they really have to throw a bunch. The spread in this game is pretty close. It's like a 1-point spread, so I think this could be kind of a back-and-forth game. But either way, we've had a long history of Mahomes being really accurate in the playoffs. He's not as risky of a quarterback as he used to be. I feel like Mahomes used to take a lot of deep shots. He would try and force the ball down the field. It doesn't seem like he's playing that way anymore. He's taking the short stuff, the underneath stuff, the easy completions when they're there. And that's what we want with completion percentage. We want Mahomes getting those easy completions, not taking a bunch of deep shots, which is obviously what the Bills have done a really good job of stopping. So this feels like a really good matchup for Mahomes to get a lot of easy completions, to have a high completion percentage. And that's why I do like him for more than 66.3% completion percentage. I think he would probably, if I had to guess, I would say Mahomes probably completes like 22, 23 of like 30 passes. Like I think he might go under his completion line and his attempts line, but still go over this completion percentage as long as he's completing a high percent of his passes, which in this matchup I like him to do. So that's what we're going to roll with, guys, as our 2 props for Sunday's NFL Conference Championship games. Austin Eckler over 9 fantasy score, and then a little bit of a weird one, but Patrick Mahomes over 66.3% completion percentage. We talked about all the reasons why I like that play. So we've got 2 plays for you guys. Let's see if we can get an easy 2-0 sweep here and go into the Super Bowl on the right note. The Super Bowl is I think it's 2 weeks from now. Be on the lookout for a video for the Super Bowl. I'll definitely have one. It'll probably get posted a couple of days before the Super Bowl, maybe like on that Thursday night or Friday night, a couple of days before, give you guys plenty of time to soak in the content. I've had a ton of fun, though, doing content this NFL season. I know you guys have enjoyed it. And let's see if we can, finish off the season with a couple of wins here. So, again, guys, appreciate you watching. Make sure you hit that like button down below if you enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button as well. And be sure to go check out Prizepicks. Use that promo code NOAH. When you do sign up for Prizepicks, play your $5 lineup, and you'll get $50 in promo funds instantly added to your account. But good luck as always. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.